Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are, whatever time you're watching. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the pros and cons about being cabin crew. Now people think that our job and our life is all unicorns and flowers and rainbows and shit like that. Ding dong, wrong, sorry. But yes, there are some unicorns and some roses, but there is a lot of things as well that are not unicorns and roses. So let's talk about the first, probably the most important one would be rude customers. Now this one's, now this is the worst one. They can be rude, impatient, very demanding, no please, no thank you, which is fine, whatever, but people tend to get upset about things that they probably wouldn't usually get upset about. You know what I mean? Like if you go to a restaurant and you order a chicken and that particular chicken dish is not available, would you crack the shits and storm off and storm out of the restaurant and be like, I'm not eating here anymore, and can't believe it? Surely there's something off the menu that you can eat. Do you know what I mean? That's a big thing as well. Like, oh, does my head in. Why does everyone want chicken? Why does everybody want chicken? Why can't anyone ask for like lamb or pasta or anything like that? It's always chicken, chicken, chicken. Sometimes I just predict, oh, of course you want chicken. It's always the same thing. And when you run out of chicken, wow, oh my God. World War III. It is like the atomic bomb, literally. And you just look at them and you think, it's just chicken. That's it. It's just chicken. I'm still offering to feed you, but you just have to eat something else. I don't understand. I don't get it. Anyway, some people like to give us a hard time. I guess they come on board and it's an expectations, but yeah. People don't realize the things that we have to do. No time on layovers. We don't get like 3-4 days in a destination. We might fly to New York. That's a 15 hour flight. We only get 24 hours there. Remember, we have to sleep half the time. We only have, what, 12 hours to see? I know it seems like a long time, but don't forget you do have to rest before the flight as well, because that's another 14-hour flight. 24 hours is not enough to see much at all. It's not very fair. It's not even enough time to rest even. It's not like the way people think that we are in New York for like 3 days or a week, and you know what I mean? You literally have to like plan ahead and go and see what you want to see and come back. Buy what you want to buy and come back. And sometimes, like if the weather is really bad or something, it's not even worth it. You just stay in the hotel room. So we don't always actually go out. Just because we have checked into New York or in London doesn't mean that we're actually going out anywhere. And the big main con is if hotel is far away from the main area, which most of the hotels are, where we get put out in the airport. We don't get put in the middle of the heart of anywhere. The middle of the city. Not all the time, I'm not saying all of them. Some of our hotels and destinations are amazing right in the middle of the city, but sometimes it's not. So sometimes we can't actually go out and see anything because it's like a 2-hour trip or a 1-hour trip. The next one would be, you can't really retain much relationships. You can't have a boyfriend, you can't have a girlfriend. It's very, very hard because you are always flying. If you date someone else that's crew, you are always flying. So you will never really see each other. If you date someone that's not cabin crew, they don't know what it's like, because sometimes when they want to see you, you're not here, you're flying. You know what I mean? Weekends, you're not here on the weekends. You might not even be here for their birthday, for your anniversary. You're away from your family and friends. You miss out on weddings, you miss out on birthdays, you miss out on your nieces and nephews growing up, and you miss out, and depending on how long you're gone for, you actually disconnect from your friends and your family. And when you go back home after, let's say, 5 years, you feel like you're not part of it as much like you were before. It's quite sad, so you miss out on a lot. Next one is I'm gonna wrap this up like in all. Being fatigued, tired all the time, and an unhealthy job. It is quite unhealthy. Remember, the aircraft is like a breeding ground for bacteria. It's just a metal tube, a lot of people in and out of there. It's an unnatural environment, so your body is not, like, it's not natural for your body to be in that kind of environment anyway, you know? So it's a bit harsh on your body. You're always tired, sleep. Being fatigued is the worst thing ever. I don't even know if anyone has been fatigued before, but being fatigued is like a huge buildup of tiredness, and then your body just crashes, where you just sleep, standing up, doing everything. My experience with fatigue, I was on a flight, it was a night flight, the cabin was dark, I was walking through the cabin, I literally fell asleep as I was walking. That's how bad your body is tired, which is called fatigue. Like, this is like beyond tiredness. So that's where they call it fatigue. I remember I was doing service one time on the flight as well, and I was serving. I went down to grab a tray and I literally fell asleep. Now, I only fell asleep for like a split second. It's not like where I fell asleep and forget it, like someone came and found me sleeping. It's terrible, actually. It's crazy. So being fatigued is a huge one. People don't understand that we're not all about chicken and lamb. We have so much responsibility, so much things that we have to do on board. This is where sometimes customers become a bit selfish, because they think that we're just there to serve them coffee and food. They don't understand we're security officers, we're first aid officers. We're also hospitality people. Like, we're there to serve you food and drinks, but we have to check security, where if there is an emergency, we're the ones that we have to think 100 miles times an hour, get you out of the aircraft, save your life. If there's a fire, everything, medical officers, keep people alive. Like, there's so many shit that we have to do. Our minds are running 100 miles an hour. So when you crack it, crack the shits for a chicken, or because you didn't get a glass of water, or you didn't get your coffee, like, I'm not even going to say what is running through our minds. Do you know what I mean? Like, when sometimes we have to prioritize things, when there are things that we have to do, like we have to do checks all the time to make sure the passengers get there alive, hijack situations, anything like that. We're the ones that we have to deal with all that crap. So people don't really understand. So it's quite tiring, and that kind of falls under the category of rude customers as well. I'm not being negative in any way, and I'm not trying to turn you off, but I'm just telling the truth. This is, whatever you ask me or whatever I talk about, it's always the truth. I'll never beat around the bush or lie about something. The best parts about being cabin crew. Now, the number one thing, cheap flights. You get to have cheap flights with different airlines, with your own airline, like dirt cheap, and fly anywhere you want around the world. That's the best thing that I absolutely love, and everyone loves. It's very hard to leave the job just because of that one reason. Your annual leave as well is awesome as well, because you get to break it up over the year. So 5 days, 3 days. And the best thing about it is you get to go anywhere in the whole wide world that you desire. When I'm on annual leave, it does my head in. I never know where to go. I'm like, where am I going to go? I have no idea where to go. Where should I go? So I always book my flight a day before I'm leaving. That's because I'm so undecisive. The best thing as well that I love so much is meeting new people and meeting different people. I have met so many amazing people from all around the world that I never even thought that I would ever even meet. I love the connections that I've made. I love knowing someone from here, from there, from here, from there, this country, that country. And I'm a bit fussy who I let into my life. I'm a good judge of character. I analyze, and I make sure. I like having amazing people in my life. I like having nice, sweet, genuine, kind-hearted people in my life. And I've met so many amazing people that are so different to the people back home. Discounts at restaurants, hotels and everything, that's a really good part. We have like a card and you can just get discounts everywhere, which is awesome, saves you a lot of money. Flying to places that you've never ever heard of, that is really cool as well. I've been to places that I had to look on the map before I even left to the airport. I'm like, where am I going? and going to places that you never even thought of going to. Like for me, Africa, Lagos, Dhaka, Bangladesh, I never even thought in my whole entire life I would ever visit there. So that is really amazing as well. And there is so many more pros and cons as well, but these are like the main ones that are, you know, really cool, and the ones that are just a little bit upsetting. But you know, that's why you just gotta be a certain person. You gotta be calm, not let things bother you. Let it go in here, go out the other, and just do your job the way you're meant to do it, and you're completely fine, and you'll be happy at the end of the day. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel, follow my social media, comment, let me know. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Good damn. Bye.